Welcome back to Read This Next with Laura and Nicole at the Thunder Bay Public Library. This week we are doing a topic that's kind of out of both of our wheelhouses, I'd say. We're doing Regency
We
Era.
are. Yes. Part of what prompted this is we were looking at past episodes that, people seem to have a lot of interest in. And one of them was the Victorian episode that we did. So we thought, well, we should do another historical era. And so we went ahead with this one. So if you're not familiar with the Regency period, it's actually like a surprisingly teeny tiny little slice of time. I didn't realize. But technically, it's books written between 1811 and 1820.
Oh, that's a very short time.
It is, or books that are set in that period. But yes, quite a tiny little time. But that is the official definition, and of course, things slightly before or after slide in, but the official definition. And of course, that's books like the big name, and the one that a lot of these books that we're going to talk about are inspired by is, of course, Jane Austen. Yeah. So huge classic author. Pretty much all of her books are considered classics and are made into movies and
made again and again
referenced
and again into movies.
Again and again and again, referenced again and again and again in different books. And so kind of some of the characteristics of these books are there's usually a lot of focus on the social standing, so like issues of class, emphasis on manners and like behaving properly, and often there's lots of fast-paced dialogue between the characters, and usually, generally speaking, there's not very explicit sex or discussion of sex. Having said that, some like Regency books that were written in the present day throw that little element out the window and go in a different direction. But traditionally, that would be an element. And there's quite a few Regency books that kind of cross romance with elements of mystery. That's not uncommon. Or the farce as well. So that means like there'll be mistaken identities or different tropes like that, fake engagements. And then there's like a whole list of fun tropes. And I was like, oh, this is basically just like top popular tropes on like AO3 or whatever.
They've just been
mistaken
around
identity.
Since the dawn of time. One bed.
Yes. Mistaken identity, false engagements, marriages of convenience. And then activities that are common, like the ball of the season, carriage riding, theater events, etc. So there's lots of kind of like repeated tropes or things that you'd expect to see reoccurring in these books. And so what we've tried to do a little bit in this list is pull, like if you're really interested in Regencies, you can just like look up like top Regency authors and you'd kind of get a few really big names, but we dug a little bit deeper than that. So I think we kind of stayed away from those like big names all the way through. So you won't see any Georgette Heyer. She's known as like a big, huge writer in that area. Okay. Julia Quinn, Amanda Quick, those are some of the really big, well-known names. So we've kind of picked ones that are a little bit lesser known to kind of shine some light there.
Yeah, because if you're looking for those, you've probably already found those ones. They are
exactly
very popular.
Yes. So we've gone a little bit different. And this first one is a you read, but I thought it was very interesting when I saw it to include it. So tell everyone what it is.
This is The Hacienda by Isabel Cañas, I think. And it says it's set in Regency period, just not in England. 18.
That's my note. Sorry, that wasn't from the publisher. They probably would have said it classier than that.
No, that makes perfect sense to me. I like that. Okay, the cover's gorgeous, very moody. Very, I'm on the moors in the rain, but it hasn't started yet. Okay, In the overthrow of the Mexican government, Beatrice's father is executed and her home destroyed. When handsome Ron Rodolfo Soloranzo proposes, Beatrice ignores the I feel like I'm reading like a robot. Ignores the rumors surrounding his wife's sudden demise, choosing instead to seize the security his estate in the countryside provides. She will have her own home again, no matter the cost. But Hacienda San Isidro is not the sanctuary she imagined. When Rodolfo returns to work in the capital, visions and voices invade visions and voices invade Beatrice's sleep. The weight of invisible eyes follows her every move. Rodolfo's sister, Juana, scoffs at Beatrice's fears, but why does she refuse to enter the house at night? Why does the cook burn copal incense at the edge of the kitchen and mark its doorways with strange symbols? What really happened to the first Doña Soloranzo? Spooky.
Right?
Beatrice only knows two things for certain. Something is wrong with the hacienda, and no one will be and no one is there to help her. Ay. Desperate for help, she clings to the young priest, Padre Andreas, as an ally. No ordinary priest, Andreas will have to rely on his skills as a witch to fight off the malevolent presence haunting the hacienda and protect the woman for whom he feels a powerful, forbidden attraction. But even he might not be enough to battle the darkness. Far from refuge, San Isidro may be Beatrice's doom. The drama!
The drama.
Wow. It was like so much going on, and then all of a sudden it was like, and now there's a priest, and he's a witch. I'm like, whoa.
Yes. It's one of those where it starts out and it's like, well, maybe it's just kind of a creepy place, but then it's like, oh no, there's stuff happening.
Yeah, this is haunted.
This is haunted. There's things going on. So this was one, I mean, I saw it listed as like, if you liked Mexican Gothic, I was like, yeah, no kidding. It sounds like there's lots of kind of thematic similarities. But yeah, another Regency one set in a totally different environment. Sounded really cool to me.
It does.
Might be the one I'm most likely to pick up actually off this list.
Cover alone, that one got me. So yeah.
Okay, so that's our first one. Our next one is a series, which I will say quite a lot of these are series, but this is a series and it's a murder mystery, a detective. So the cover is a little bit generic.
It's very like Harlequin kind of style.
A little bit, yeah. Okay, so it's called A Gentlewoman's Guide to Murder by Victoria Hamilton. Scandal and slayings among Regency London's elites. The shocking murder of Sir Henry Claiborne leaves Regency London shaken and horror-struck. But for genteel spinster Miss Emmeline St. Germain, the crime slices far too close to home. Just hours before the knight's death, she held a dagger to him, threatening him to stay silent as she rescued a scullery maid he had procured for his pleasure.
Oh no.
Yeah, so we're not shying away so much from the
nastiness of humans.
Yes, exactly. Did the man or woman who murdered the knight know of her visit? Her secret identity at risk, which we didn't even know she had a secret identity, but I guess she does. Her secret identity at risk. Her reputation and life in jeopardy. Emmeline must solve the crime or face scandalous exposure and ruination, or worse, the hangman's noose for a crime she did not commit.
Ooh.
Yeah. Compulsive page turner.
I love that. It sounds like, sorry?
I was going to say, this one is not so much like obviously they don't exactly hint at a whole lot of romance in this particular Regency. Much more kind of the looking at the social class, the restrictions part, looking at gender roles. And sounds like this lady is just like out having a good time, being a like vigilante for female rights. Good for her. And may have gotten mixed up in a bit more than she
She can handle.
More than she can handle.
It
Yeah.
sounds like those I don't know the genre, but you'll know what I'm talking about. The ladies who cook and suddenly find themselves solving mysteries and they just are really good at everything for no real reason. That sounds like the Regency equivalent of those ladies.
Yes. Yes, it kind of
Oh,
does. And
knitting.
it's not the first one on the list.
Oh, well, there you go. We're in the thick of it.
Yes, a little bit. A little bit. The next one has some real similarities in terms of style.
Okay. Yeah, the cover is kind of I like the cover.
This
The
cover is nicer,
Yeah, it's
to be honest.
simplified.
It's better.
This is also a series, The Body in the Garden by Catherine Shellman. London, 1815. Though newly widowed, Lily Alder is returning to a society that frowns on independent women. She's determined to create a meaningful life for herself even without a husband. She's no stranger to the glittering world of London's upper crust. At a at a ball thrown by her oldest friend, Lady Walter, she expects the scandal, gossip, and secrets. What she doesn't expect is the dead body in Lady Walter's garden. Not a good thing to
Oops.
have at a party. Lily overheard the man just minutes before he was shot, young, desperate, and attempting blackmail. But she's willing to leave the matter to the local constables until Lord Walter bribes the investigating magistrate to drop the case. Stunned and confused, Lily realizes she's the only one with the key to catching the killer. Aided by a roguish Navy captain and a mysterious heiress from the West Indies, Lily sets out to discover whether her friend's husband is mixed up in blackmail and murder. The unlikely team tries to conceal their investigation behind the whirl of London's social season, but the dead man knew secrets about people with power, secrets they would kill to keep hidden. Now Lily will have to uncover the truth before she becomes the murderer's next target. Dun dun dun.
Da, da, da.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So teaming up, you know, she's not on her own. She's got what was it? A roguish,
She got a roguish Navy
a
captain and a
roguish Navy captain.
mysterious heiress.
Yes. So she's got some sidekicks to work with her as they,
To
see what
solve
this
the murder.
blackmailer was up to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So fun, mystery. Um, Again, I think that there's some romance to it, but really this character is more like she's focused on living her life and doing her thing.
Yeah.
She is fairly newly widowed, if I remember correctly. I read
Sounds.
like a little bit at the beginning, I think. So
Was it?
she was like,
What made you put it
I would
down?
like distraction. Um, well, as I was saying to Nicole before we started, I've been in a bit of a reading slump.
Mm.
And I've kind of been reading exclusively A, fan fiction,
Yes.
which I've mentioned before as something that I regularly indulge in,
Yeah.
but B, also short things like maybe 30K or less at a time,
For
even
the
shorter than that.
for the readers, what is 30K in translation to a book?
Well, I think kind of an average book, a lot of them are 50,000 words.
Okay.
Like when you do NaNoWriMo, when you do the National Novel Writing Month, the challenge is to write 50,000 words as
Yeah.
I throw in more jargon.
Yeah. I knew what you meant.
Yeah. So I guess I'm talking like novellas
Yeah,
is
so like
what
between like
short
200,
stories
300 words ish.
and novellas is what
Mm.
I'm looking for right now.
Yeah.
Not sure if it's just kind of the weather has been, I've got lots of
Time change.
other things I've been thinking about lately.
Well, I think like, you got a lot going on. And also like my reading slump started the minute we were like for the readers, listeners, whoever, we clearly stopped doing like the R highlights at the end, and that was because I'm in a reading slump. And I was like, I can't keep up with the demand anymore. So it happened. So it's good to know that though at least like this book you didn't put down because you were like, "Ooh, it's bad." You were just like, I can't read."
I was just like, it's too it's too long for me right now, which is pretty sad. But just, I mean, you cannot, I don't think you can tell from watching, and our listeners certainly wouldn't know, but I am pregnant. And so got lots of other things going on in my mind at various times. And longer form books just kind of got like pushed off the bottom of the list.
And that's fair. Are we able to tell the listeners that you won't be here next year?
Yes.
Okay, well then I guess that's officially it. Laura will be taking a temporary hiatus from our show, and we'll be bringing on a new librarian who will be filling
Yeah.
in. So we'll introduce her when she comes, but yeah, it's exciting. Yay.
Yeah. We'll bring it out to the end of the year with me. We'll do our, year in reading retrospective reviews. And then I'll wave
Bye.
farewell. And we'll carry on. Yeah.
And then when you get back, we'll restart it all. It'll be good.
Yes.
That was a
Okay.
long tangent. Well
That was a
worth
little
it though.
interlude. Jump into something else. Okay.
Yeah.
Next one. Coincidentally, I didn't set them up like this on purpose, but somehow I put all three mysteries like in a row.
Ooh.
But this one is not just a mystery.
It looks
It's
supernatural.
magical mystery.
Yay!
Yeah. Okay. So this one is called The Midnight Bargain. It's by C.L. Polk, who is an author I believe we have recommended before. I think I want to say she did the Witches Marks.
I'll Google it.
Book. Maybe I made it up. Not sure. Anyway, here's what this one's about. Beatrice Claiborne is a sorceress who practices magic in secret, terrified of the day she will be locked into a marital collar, which will cut off her powers to protect her unborn children. Ugh. She dreams of becoming a full-fledged magus and pursuing magic as her calling, as men do. But her family has her family has staked everything to equip her for bargaining season. Bargaining season.
I don't like that.
It's like, we're not even going to pretend. We're not going to, no sugarcoating. This is what it is. Bargaining season. When young men and women of means descend upon the city to negotiate the best marriages, the Claibornes are in severe debt, and only she can save them by securing an advantageous match before the creditors come calling. In a stroke of luck, Beatrice finds a grimoire. I said that right?
I think so.
Grimoire that contains the key to becoming a magus, but before she can purchase it, a rival sorceress swindles the book right out of her hands.
Rude.
Beatrice summons a spirit to help her get it back, but her new ally exacts a price. Beatrice's first kiss with her adversary's brother, the handsome, compassionate, and fabulously wealthy. I don't know how to say that name. Ianth Levon. The more Beatrice is entangled with the Levon siblings, the harder her decision becomes. If she casts the spell to become a magus, she will devastate her family and lose the only man to ever see her for who she is. But if she marries, even for love, she will sacrifice her magic, her identity, and her dreams. But how can she choose just one, knowing she will forever regret the path not taken?
Interesting. That's interesting. I'm so curious what would happen if she's just like, we're married. You know? We're married.
Yeah, I don't know.
That sounds
if
cool though.
She was like, I'm not like, I'll put the collar on, but we won't lock it.
Yeah, wait, is it like a physical collar?
I think
like, I assume
maybe
they were just referring to like the old ball and chain, you know?
I don't know. I have the idea it was like an actual physical collar.
That could be.
Maybe not.
No,
maybe
you know what? It says it would cut off her powers, so I imagine it's got to be something like physical.
For bargaining, a place that has a bargaining season, I feel like they might have like a literal collar.
Fair enough. Someone put in the comments on our YouTube what that is. Tell us, please. Comment on our Goodreads.
Did you look up C.L. Polk? Was I right?
Yeah, they wrote Witchmark, but I don't think we've read it. I don't recognize the cover.
It's all in here.
It's so small.
It's all in here. And then I'm gonna go off for a year and I'll come back and it'll all be blank.
No, what's gonna happen is you're gonna come back and be like, I read so many books, and I'll be like, I read 4. I hit my goal this year though, so we're good.
That's good.
Yeah, my goal is 12 this year.
Hey, you know what? That's great.
Better than
4
0.
would be good too. Yeah.
Yeah.
No reading shaming here.
No, none. Reading is reading, even if it's the back of a shampoo bottle.
Yep.
All right. This next one is, I've seen this cover everywhere. This is a YA one, isn't it?
It is YA.
Yeah. So this is Anatomy, a Love Story by Dana Schwartz. Edinburgh, 1817. Hazel Sinnott is a lady who wants to be a surgeon more than she wants to marry. A lot of these are just like, I don't want to be this.
Well,
Makes
I mean, how
sense.
exciting is the book if she's like, all I want is to
I'm a
be
surgeon.
married.
True. Or she's like, I'm a surgeon. I have everything I want. Where's the story?
Not a lot of plot there, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Back to it. So she wants to be a surgeon, doesn't want to get married. Jack Currer is a resurrection man who's just trying to survive in a city where it's too easy to die. When the two of them have a chance encounter outside the Edinburgh's Anatomists Society, Hazel thinks nothing of it at first. But after she gets kicked out of renowned surgeon Dr. Beecham's lectures for being the wrong gender, she realizes that her new acquaintance might be more helpful than she first thought, because Hazel has made a deal with Dr. Beecham. If she can pass the medical examination on her own, the university will allow her to enroll. Without official lessons, though, Hazel will need more than just her books. She'll need bodies to study, corpses to dissect. Ew. Oh no! Lucky that she's made the acquaintance of someone who digs them up for a living then.
Yeah.
Horrendous.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
That's friendship.
Yeah. Or more, maybe.
Or more. Wow. Get you a man who does that for you. But Jack has his own problems. Strange men have been seen skulking around cemeteries. His friends are disappearing off the streets. Hazel and Jack work together to uncover the secrets buried not just in unmarked graves, but at the very heart of Edinburgh society. A gothic tale full of mystery and romance. Ooh!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Why not? Gravediggers.
Gravediggers. How many books are there about gravediggers?
More than you'd think.
Maybe we need an episode.
I feel like I somewhat recently read a book. It was not Regency, but I think I came across it when I was looking for Regency titles. See, I did read this one. It was right before I closed shop.
And what did you think?
It was no, sorry, I don't mean I didn't read this literal book. I read
the other gravedigger
that had a gravedigger in it. And it was that Kelly Armstrong, like a rip in time or a rip through time.
I need to read that. I had it checked out.
And you know what? I enjoyed it a lot. And there was I guess there were gravedigger characters. There were people who were availing themselves of gravediggers' services.
I see. They were, yeah, side characters.
More people using bodies, because that was a thing, right? I mean, if you don't have any reference books,
what are you gonna do?
What else do you do? Obviously, go to the source.
Frankenstein did worse than this, so.
Frankenstein was written right at the end of this Regency period, so it is very apropos. Good reference.
I wonder if there's, and I'm sure this has probably been studied by people, I wonder if there is a connection between, like, learning about bodies and that kind of thing in that time period. Like, what was Mary Shelley doing with all that, you know? I don't know.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah, very what's the word? Macabre.
Yeah, good stuff.
Good stuff.
In a complete turnaround.
Yeah, the cover.
The next one is it's called A Duke, the Lady, and a Baby by Vanessa Riley. When headstrong West Indian heiress Patience Jordan questioned her English husband's mysterious suicide, she lost everything. Her newborn son, Lionel, her fortune, and her freedom. Falsely imprisoned, she risks her life to be near her child until the widow's grace, capital L, capital W, capital G, gets her hired as her own son's nanny. But working for his unsuspecting new guardian, Bussock Strathmore, Duke of Reppington, has perils of its own, especially when Patience discovers his military strictness belies an ex-rake of unswerving honor and unexpected passion.
Ooh la la.
A wounded military hero, Bussock is determined to resolve his dead cousin's dangerous financial dealings for Lionel's sake. But his investigation is a minor skirmish compared to dealing with the forthright, courageous, and alluring Patience. Somehow she's breaking his rules and sweeping past his defenses. Soon, between formidable enemies and obstacles, they form a fragile trust. But will it be enough to save the future they long to dare together? That is a weird way of putting it.
Yeah, but
Long to dare. I would have thought like dare to long for together. Anyway,
whatever.
you get the idea.
Yeah.
You get the idea.
It sounds like a light, no, I guess light isn't the right word. I feel like you'll know where this is going if you're gonna read it. So it'll be a nice light read.
Yes. Perhaps not a ton of surprises. But I think some fun times. I feel like this is from the description, it sounds like an author who zeroed in on that like banter aspect of these type of books.
Yeah.
And I'm intrigued by the capital, the Widow's Grace. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like some secret organization?
Falsely imprisoned, she risks her life to be near her child until the widow's grace. Maybe
Right?
that's like a person. I don't know.
I don't know. But
Someone's
I'm
title.
intrigued.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by this next cover. I said that I liked the first one. I was wrong. This is the best one. And speaking of the lovely Jane Austen, this is Pride and Premediation. Yeah, I almost said meditation. It's not meditation, is it? Yeah.
Premeditated? Premeditation?
It's either Pride and Premediation or Pride and Premeditation. And I don't know which.
Well, I would say it was a premeditated crime.
Oh, yeah, okay. Pride and Premeditation.
We got there.
All right. It's by Terza Price. Okay. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a young woman who desires a law career must be in want of a case. So when 16-year-old Lizzie Bennet hears about a scandalous society murder, she sees an opportunity to prove herself as a solicitor by involving the case. No, by solving the case and ensuring justice is served. Except the man accused of the crime already has a lawyer on his side, Mr. Fitzwilliam Darts. I know the names. Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy, the stern young heir to the prestigious Pemberley Associates law firm. Lizzie is determined to solve the murder before Darcy can, so that she can show the world that a woman can be just as good as a man. The fact that Darcy is an infuriating snob doesn't help, but there's still a killer on the loose, and as the case gets more complicated, Lizzie and Darcy may have to start working together to avoid becoming the next victims themselves. So this seems like it's more current.
Yes, I believe this is YA as well.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And I think there's already a sequel out. I think that's what had come up first, and I was like, well, I'll do book one. But yes, so if you're interested, there will be another.
Sounds cute.
Next one is one of those ones where, again, it's part of a series. This one is a book too, but it's one of those where it's like the series is following a group of friends or family or whatever, so you can kind of just dip in with those stories you're most interested in. You don't need to necessarily read them in order. So I went with this one because this was the one that sounded the most interesting to me. It has a little blurb on it from Emily Henry, who is the author of Beach Read, which has been a huge romance title. So if that, if you enjoyed her stuff, then you may you may enjoy this that she's gone for. Okay, so this one is called To Love and to Loathe
Love it.
by Martha Waters. And also when I said earlier that, normally they tended to kind of avoid looking at the more, I guess, baser human desires. This one,
Does not shy
my
away.
feeling is it's just jumping right into it. Okay, so the widow Diana, Lady Templeton, and Jeremy, Marquess of Willingham, are infamous among English high society as much for their sharp-tongued bickering as their flirtation. One evening, an argument at a ball turns into a serious wager. Jeremy will marry within the year, or Diana will forfeit £100.
Oh.
So, shortly after, just before a fortnight-long house party at Elderwild,
A 2-week-long party?
go off, I guess, Jeremy's country estate, Diana is shocked when Jeremy arrives at her home with a very different kind of proposition. After his latest mistress unfavorably criticized his skills in the bedroom, Jeremy's looking for reassurance, so he's gone to the only woman he trusts to be totally truthful. He suggests they embark on a brief affair while at the house party. Jeremy can receive an honest critique of his bedroom skills, and widow Diana can use the gossip to signal to other gentlemen that she's interested in taking a lover. Diana thinks taking him up on his counter proposal can only help her win his wager. How? I'm not entirely okay. Well, the next sentence says this: with her in the bedroom, like what, coaching him?
I guess.
And Jeremy's marriage-minded grandmother, the formidable Dowager Marchioness of Willingham, helping to find suitable matches among the eligible ladies at Elderwild, Diana is confident her victory is assured. But while they're focused on winning wagers, they stand to lose their own hearts.
Oh, wow. This sounds very much like the Bridgerton thing where it's like, if we both show that we're eligible, everyone will want us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pros and cons to that move.
Pros and cons to that move. And if we show, if I give you tips in the bedroom, then like what, word of his prowess will spread and everyone will want to marry.
Wouldn't that lower her stand? Well, I guess she's widowed. Does she really care? So
maybe she doesn't care. Well, it does say it would tell everyone that she was willing to take a lover. I'm like, okay. Wow. Just open for business, a casual signpost.
You know what though? The thing that's the most wild about that description was straight up the 2-week-long party. I could never. Never.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe now that we've like talked it through, maybe this is one of my like closed circle stories. Just a small set of care. All we need is someone to get murdered.
Yeah. They're at a 2-week-long party and they need to solve who got
2-week-long party. They've got to improve this guy's bedroom skills. Tell everyone that she's ready to start seeing someone else and solve a murder.
Just, I mean, reframing books so you're into them. I get it.
Right.
I love that. That's so funny.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, there's that one. And then there's one left.
One more. Okay. A Lady's Guide to Fortune Hunting by Sophie Irwin. A whip-smart debut that follows the adventures of an entirely unconventional heroine who throws herself into the London season to find a wealthy husband, for the last thing she expects to find is love.
Is that surprising?
Well, I mean, they're probably just like, oh, I'll just find some guy. Maybe he'll suck, maybe he'll be okay. And then they fall in love? Wow! Kitty Talbot needs a fortune. Or rather, she needs a husband who has a fortune. Left with her father's massive debts, she has only 12 weeks to save her family from ruin. Kitty has never been one to back down from a challenge, so she leaves home and heads toward the most dangerous battleground in all of England, the London season. Kitty may be neither accomplished nor especially genteel, but she is utterly single-minded, imbued with cunning and ingenuity. She knows that risk is just part of the game. The only thing she doesn't anticipate is Lord Radcliffe. The worldly Radcliffe sees Kitty for the mercenary fortune hunter that she really is and is determined to scotch her plans at all costs. until their parrying takes a completely different turn. This is a frothy pleasure, full of brilliant repartee and enticing wit, one that readers will find it an irresistible delight. That final sentence is so fun. I love that. So many good words.
Fun
So,
vocabulary.
banter for this one too, eh?
Yes, I would say so. And I mean, it's all very well to be like, oh, she's mercenary and all she wants is a fortune. But let's be honest, I'm pretty sure many of these men, all they wanted was like a fertile young woman who looked nice on their arm.
There's just no
we're
word.
talking, you know.
Yeah, there's no opposite for gold digger than like for what men are looking for.
But everyone's, you know, I'm sure most of them, they could say that they're out looking for love, but if they actually were honest about their intentions.
In the Regency era.
In the Regency era.
This was a fun episode. I liked all of these.
It sounds like another fun one. And I did go through, I found a couple of Regency books that we had recced in the past.
Okay.
Funnily enough, I think that they were almost all from our like queer romance episode.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So they're also all I think the three that I have are also all queer romances that happen to be set in the Regency era.
Yay.
So you can check those out too.
Yeah, so you can find those on our blog, which is www.tbplofftheshelf.com. You can like, follow, subscribe, do all those fun things just by searching us at tbpl pretty much everywhere. Find us on all your favorite podcast places, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.